a sale. It starts at 8:30. You're going to see Mrs. Sreetips in action today. The line has started to form for this estate sale.
Listen up. Listen up. No big bags carried around. You have to put them under the whole table. The house is packed.
And it's just gonna knock stuff over.
Full. It will knock things
The original
over.
book from England. I can't tell you the name of it right now, but it's a good
All
book.
the way in the back. When you go in, take a look.
All right, come on. In the library. Upstairs, take a Can we look at? Do you need to show us this?
I can lift it and lay it up.
Okay.
And Kevin, if y'all don't mind,
Yeah.
I want you to look at this and see if you think that's got any value to it. Bring it back to me if it does.
How about that chain right there, Teresa?
Those are
160.
Tiffany. Now those
You
I
want
think
it?
rounded up.
524.
524. Gotcha.
Oh, I love this bracelet here. Looks like it's something military or high school, you know? 14 karat gold. These are like 14 karat gold earrings that are very pretty. Yeah,
It's
gold
what?
watch. 14 karat gold.
Watch, okay.
It should be gold filled, I'm not for sure.
How much was it?
$8. It's a pocket watch chain.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is our final tally. This is the silver that we got in this bag. This is gold filled material. This is a few 14K gold beads and a gold 14K gold catch. And this is the bulk of the gold that we got in this bag. Here's the 14K material that we got from Mrs. Sreetips. That's 47.4 grams. Here's the little button of gold that we recovered from the gold-plated silver recovery video. Got the gold off of some gold-plated silver, and this is it. I'm going to put this in and refine it. That's 24K, 4.2 grams. I figured that we need 72.5 grams of sterling to properly unquart this gold, and I just happen to have a spoon here that weighs 72.2, so this will work perfect. Let's go and quart this gold now.
And we'll get this out of this water and into a beaker and start pulling the silver and the base metals out with nitric acid.
Here's our unquarted gold down in the bottom of this 1 liter beaker. Now what we'll do is start off by adding some distilled water. I'm adding an equal amount of nitric acid. What this will do is the nitric acid will pull out the silver and the base metals, and leave the gold behind so we can recover and refine it. Set it up here on the heat. This first nitric boil is complete. What we're doing here is pulling the silver and base metals out with these nitric acid boils. I've got sterling silver in here to consume any excess nitric that might still be in this solution. The goal here, we reduced the amount of gold in the alloy by alloying additional silver with this gold. We have to do that in order for the nitric acid to be able to penetrate into each of these pieces. If we tried to put karat gold in here, 14K, 10K gold, and boil that in the acid, absolutely nothing would happen. So we must reduce the amount of gold in the alloy by adding additional silver. Then, and only then, can we pull all the silver and base metals out with these nitric acid boils. And this will be nitric acid boil number 2. Now that we've reduced the gold content in the alloy by adding additional sterling silver, now the nitric can penetrate to the core, to the center of each of these pieces of encorded gold, forming a honeycomb structure as it goes to completely and nearly 100% remove all of the silver and all of the base metals. This nitric boil is complete. You can tell because there's no more fumes being generated. So what we're going to do, it's still going to have plenty of nitric acid in there. What we're going to do is pour this off into our silver jar. There's going to be a lot of fumes produced here from that hot nitric acid hitting those pieces of sterling silver in there. That's what our gold is looking like. The nitric acid is pulling the silver and the base metals out of our encorded gold. Now what we'll do is pour some distilled water in here. And then we'll add nitric acid. And then we'll put this up on the heat. This will be nitric acid boil number 4. I've done this before, but I'm going to do it again. This is my 14K gold wedding band. What we're going to do, to illustrate why it's important to encort the gold with silver, if we try to put 14K gold in without encording it, nothing will happen. So I'm going to drop my 14K wedding band right in to the boiling nitric acid. This is our last nitric acid boil. We can tell it's done because there's no more fumes in here, and the solution is colorless like water. This has been on boiling for about 45 minutes. And what we're going to do is pour this off now into our silver jar. There's going to be a ton of nitric acid in here. Here's what the gold looks like. Let's get this ring out of here. I hope that demonstrates why we add additional silver to the gold. If we didn't, nothing would happen. The gold would just sit there unaffected. That's why we add the additional silver, so that the nitric acid can penetrate and remove all the silver and base metals that's in this imported gold. I'm going to add some distilled water to the gold. I'm going to set this back up on the heat now and let this boil in some plain distilled water for a while. Here's a look at my wedding ring. You can see the nitric acid did slightly discolor it, but it didn't penetrate into the metal because this high carat gold will protect the metal from the nitric acid. So when we alloy additional silver with the 14K gold, get it down to about 25% gold or 6K gold, then the nitric acid can penetrate, pull all the silver and all the base metals out of there. The gold has been boiling in plain distilled water for about 20 minutes. What we're going to do now is pour off this distilled water boil. And now what we'll do, I'm going to add hydrochloric acid right into the gold. Now, I've got some sulfuric acid down here. Put in a little bit of this. This will precipitate out any lead that may be present. And now, I'm going to add some doses of nitric acid. Form aqua regia in the beaker and dissolve this gold. That should just about do it. We've evaporated the solution down to a syrup now. I'm going to use hydrochloric acid to rehydrate our solution. Now let's pull our solution down off the heat and let it cool down. Let's go ahead and add a few ice cubes. Cool this down a little bit. Got a Wattman number 2 filter paper in here. There's a little trash in that filter, and the gold is a little bit cloudy. It's hard to tell because there's condensate on the outside of this flask. So we're going to pour it back through the filter. Same filter a second time while we got it in this state. See if we can get some more of the very fine particulate that may be suspended in here. Filter it out. Let's get down here now and do a quick precipitation on this. I'm going to be adding sodium metabisulfite. There we go. Bang. Should just about do it for us. I've allowed this to settle completely. You can see there's a nice colorless, clear solution on top of it. And what we'll do here is pour this off into our waste container. I'm going to put some hydrochloric acid on it. I'm going to set it up here and let it boil in hydrochloric acid. Boiling in hydrochloric for about 10 minutes now. I'm going to pour this off into our waste container. Now what we'll do, I think, is dissolve it a second time. Add some hydrochloric acid. And now we'll set it up on the heat. Start heating this up. I think what we're going to do is reconfigure our setup. I'm using a different burner. This burner is elevated and it's easier to see the reaction. I'm adding a few drops of sulfuric acid. Now what I'll do is add about, let's see, I think it was 9 milliliters. 1, 2, 3. That was three milliliter doses of nitric acid. I've got this to go in solution. I boiled it down to get rid of the excess nitric. I don't see any more fumes in there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull this down off the heat and let it cool down. I've added some ice to cool it down. Add a filter paper. And now what we'll do is filter the solution. Let's go ahead. I'm going to add some stump out to a gas generator bottle over here. I'm adding some water to this to form a slurry. I've got the solution filtered out. I'm going to set this out of the way. Go ahead and start some acid flow and start generating some SO2 gas here. There we go. What I'll do is dilute the solution with some distilled water. This reaction happens better when we have a dilute solution. We're going to go ahead and add our gas generator now. Delivery tube, and start precipitating out the pure gold with SO2 gas. That didn't take long. It's done. That was less than 30 seconds. Fastest precipitation I've ever seen. Let's shut off the flow of acid to our gas generator. Take our tube out of here, set it aside. And now what we'll do is just let this settle out completely. I've allowed it to settle completely. What we'll do now is pour this off. See if we can get our gold down into this melt dish. Carefully. Let's melt this up a bar here. Pure gold. Here's our little gold bar that we just poured. Bright and shiny, pure gold bar. Let's see, we were expecting 31.8 grams. 28.1, so we're off by a few grams. That's okay. Some of the gold that I counted as a higher carat must have been lower than what I thought. Not all of it was marked. Alright, this will conclude the video. Mrs. Sreetips adds another gold bar. Thank you for watching.